Welcome to this explainer. Before we go any further, I want to gently invite you to do something we almost never do in our busy days. Just pause, take a deep, slow breath in, and let it out. Let those shoulders drop. Okay, let's dive into this quiet space together. Today, we're exploring something deeply intimate and absolutely powerful. We're looking at the architecture of our own vitality and how we can actually tend to the wild, beautiful gardens of our inner lives.
I really want you to sit with this question for a second. There is a sharp, almost heartbreaking distinction between mere health and true vitality. See, health is so often just about functioning, right? It's waking up, managing your tasks, surviving the day, checking off those endless boxes. But vitality? Vitality is radiating. It's the raw life force actually moving through you. It's that feeling of being deeply, unapologetically alive. In the constant rush of daily life, with all those endless to-do lists, where might you have left your inner fire behind?
This brings us to the first part of our journey, the sacred empty space, and finding your clearing.
We so often live trapped in this dense, noisy forest overgrown with other people's needs and our own endless obligations where no sunlight can even reach the floor. To heal, we actually need to rethink a word we use all the time: vacation. Now, what's really interesting here is that it comes from the Latin word vacare, which literally means to leave empty, free, or unoccupied. Historically, a vacation meant emptying a house to find peace. But look at what we do today. We pack our schedules with frantic travel, and honestly, we often need a vacation just to recover from our vacation. We seek an escape, but we never actually empty the space inside our minds.
Think of your daily life as a crowded house, filled with heavy furniture, external demands, and all the dense roles you play: parent, partner, employee. To heal, we need what we can call a relational vacation. Imagine just stepping out of that heavy, crowded house. Imagine taking off the thick winter coats of your daily roles, walking out into the woods, and stepping into a quiet, sunlit clearing. It's just you, standing in sacred solitude.
I know the immediate thought for a lot of us is guilt, but stepping away is not rejection. Claiming a few days, or honestly even just a few hours, completely apart from your family and your obligations, is a deeply compassionate act of self-preservation. You literally cannot pour from an empty cup. Stepping into that clearing is simply the necessary gathering of your own scattered light so that you can eventually return and shine warmly on the people you love.
Now let's move into our next phase, tending your own roots, and how we actually cultivate the self. Once you're standing in that quiet clearing, the real work begins. For so much of our lives, we get trapped in this external search. We look to the outside world to fix us. We wait for a savior, a perfect partner, a new job, or just a change in circumstances to finally bring us peace. But true, unshakable peace? That only blossoms when we shift to the internal anchor. It comes from claiming personal responsibility for our own inner landscape and really recognizing our own inherent power.
And this process brilliantly illustrates how we heal. It requires planting 3 specific seeds of transformation. First, consciousness. This is simply the act of waking up, observing exactly where you are without any judgment. Then, acceptance. This is about making peace with your present shadows, the uncomfortable parts of your story, and just saying, okay, this is where I am right now. And finally, responsibility. This is the realization that you, and only you, hold the tools to cultivate your own garden.
Now, the word responsibility often feels so clinical, right? Like a heavy chore we're just forced to carry. But it isn't. Responsibility is a joyous, empowering awakening. It is the breathtaking realization that you are fundamentally capable. You are the architect of your inner world. You hold the pen to your own story. When you fully embrace this, the weight just lifts off your shoulders, and this incredible lightness takes its place.
Which leads us to the blossoming of our vitality, the architecture of joy. From those deep, well-tended roots, something absolutely magnificent begins to grow. To cultivate this joyous inner life, we can look at 4 essential pillars. First, playfulness. We really have to bring lightness and laughter back into our rigid lives, remembering how to play just for the sake of playing, without an end goal. Next, purposeful tools. This means choosing practices that actually heal us in a world that is just so heavy with distractions. Then, authentic interaction. Peeling back the layers to connect deeply with others from our true center. And finally, gentle experimentation, allowing ourselves to try completely new ways of living, totally free from that harsh fear of failure.
We're often taught that joy is a prize,
That it's a reaction to something happening in the outside world, like a promotion, a compliment, or a perfect sunny day. But true joy doesn't need an external trigger. It's simply the sensation of being deeply, unapologetically alive within your own body. It's a quiet, steady fire burning without reason, warming you from the inside out, completely regardless of the weather outside.
Let's move to our final section and see how this all builds together. This is your ticket inward.
Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually access this inner sanctuary right now, especially when my life feels so chaotic? Well, it begins with the most gentle, subtle movements. First, just slow your breath. Feel that ancient, steady rhythm of your chest rising and falling. Second, observe your surroundings. Notice the way the light falls across the floor, or the life teeming in the trees just outside your window. And third, rediscover the absolute sacredness of the present moment. Right here, right now, is literally the only place life actually happens.
You really don't need a plane ticket to Bali to find peace. Ground these abstract concepts in raw physical sensation. Tomorrow morning, go outside and stand barefoot in the damp grass. Let the morning sun warm your face. Allow the earth to physically hold your weight. Healing doesn't require some grand, expensive escape. It begins right under your own bare feet, when you finally allow yourself to be held by the world around you.
So the crucial point is this beautiful, quiet truth. The journey was never about going anywhere. All this time, everything you have been so desperately seeking in the outside world, the peace, the validation, the joy, that vital fire, it's already safely resting within you. You are the destination. The ticket has always been in your heart. I want to leave you in the space of stillness, as you step out of the dense forests of your daily obligations and stand in the soft light of your own quiet clearing. What will you choose to nourish today? Take a moment. Let the silence hold you. And when you're ready, step back into your life, not just functioning, but truly radiating.